Hello and welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. So today I decided to do a reading on on a specific situation that you may be dealing with and what may be blocking you or what you're not seeing, what may be hidden from you. And so you've got 4 piles to choose from. And so you can choose multiple ways in terms of whatever is calling your spirit or your heart. And you can either choose by the deck, and then I'm also going to pull over because I've already shuffled all of these and prayed over them for each of the readings. And so the first card will be the situation. So I will just turn it over, but we won't do the reading. We'll just get into it. And then, or you can choose from the crystal that's associated with the pile, which I will point out. So let's take a look at what you have. So pile number 1 would be the Light Seers deck. All right, and the first card there is going to be the 6 of Wands. And the crystal here is the Dalmatian, oops, let's see if you can see that, Dalmatian Jasper. Okay, so pile number 2 is going to be the Muse deck. So that's this deck, and, oh, beautiful, it's the Page of Materials. Am I doing that in the camera? There we go. And the crystal here is the Tiger's Eye. Okay. And then pile number 3 will be the Awakened deck. And here we have the Empress for pile number 3. And you have the green Aventurine. Or pile number 4, which is going to be the Gullah Geechee deck. And you have the Judgement. Okay. And the crystal here would be the Bloodstone. So those are your piles. Go ahead and take a moment to just take a deep breath in. And see if any of the piles call to you. If more than one calls to you, certainly check them out. You may have more than one situation where you're feeling or there's something blocking you from being able to proceed forward. And so take a look, whatever pulls to you. This is a timeless reading, so whenever it pulls to you and you tune in, then there may be a message here for you. Thank you so much for being here with the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you like anything that you're hearing here, please like and subscribe and drop a comment for me to let me know what is resonating with you. All right, so that will be that. We'll jump into the readings. Choose which pile is for you. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Light Seers deck and the Dalmatian crystal, then this is going to be your reading on what is the situation and what might be hidden from you, or what are you not seeing in the situation. So the first card that you have, and this is going to be a pretty quick reading, but I just want to kind of go through and show you. So I will pull a card that is the situation, which is this right here. And then I will pull the card that is blocking you. I will pull what is going on underneath the surface that you might not be seeing. And then I will pull a final card for advice. And then these 2 oracle cards here will help you, 1, look at kind of what is the shadow that you may need to deal with within yourself. And then also what is additional abundant advice to help you to get to the abundance that you need to in this situation. So right off the bat, pile number 1, you've got the 6 of Wands. And so what I feel like this situation, it could, obviously this is a general reading, so it could apply to multiple situations. But in this particular situation, you are moving toward a success. You may even already be dealing with success, feeling very abundant in something, completed something that is getting not only success in that you've completed it well and you've done it well, but you're also getting eyes on you. People are celebrating you. They're recognizing you. They're calling you out. So if you're not currently in this situation, it could be that this is coming, like you're working on something that is moving towards success and you're moving to a situation of recognition. And so what we're going to see here is what is actually blocking you from being able to fully stand in your success in this given situation. So this could be a work project that you're working on, but it could also relate to a relationship of some kind and something that you're trying to move forward. But the key thing that I'm seeing here is that it's something that you have been working on, and you're trying to get to this pinnacle of success where people are recognizing you. Some of you, what I'm hearing right now is some of you may be in a situation in which you're moving towards success. Everything is going well with your project or the things that you're doing, but you're not being recognized in that. It's almost like people are not seeing you, like as if you haven't been a major contributor to whatever is happening. So that is also what I'm seeing here. But let's take a look and see what might be blocking you from this future success, okay? Okay, so you've got the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords is when we need to walk away from something, right? We need to, and particularly with the Six of Swords, it can be about needing to be pulled away from something, someone to help you. It also calls for help coming in at just the right time. Okay, but it does, you can see here that she is in a bit of distress. She's got her bags packed. She's being pulled away by these crows, which I also see as kind of like spirit bringing her to a safe landing, right? So there's a sense that you're needing to move to a safe landing, but in order for you to get to your ultimate success, there's something that you need to leave behind. You cannot take it with you. It doesn't fit in your baggage, okay? Now, for some of you, depending on what the situation is, it could be in a career or in a work that you're doing. It may be that you need to leave a certain company that you're in, or maybe just a project within a company, okay? Or individuals within that project, right? So it just depends on what your situation is. If it's a relationship, there may be either some aspect of the relationship that you need to leave behind or the actual relationship. The Six of Swords is a pretty strong card in terms of needing to walk away from something that is no longer serving you. And because we're looking at this in terms of what's blocking you from the actual situation, which is to get to your ultimate success, that tells me very strongly that there's going to be a need for you to pull away from something. Now let's look at what's going on underneath, what might be hidden from you, what might not be showing up. It's interesting. So you've got the Judgment card. Now this is a strong major arcana card, but the Judgment card, this is such a beautiful illustration of the Judgment card, because it's like the Judgment card is also about like having compassion for yourself. So part of what I think what you're not seeing is not only are you feeling judged by other people, but part of that reason is because you're judging yourself in the situation. You're doing yourself a little bit too much harm within the situation. It's like, give yourself a break, pile number one. Like, give yourself some compassion. And by giving yourself the compassion that you need, you are going to actually open up compassion for others, which may allow you to be able to go ahead and walk away from a situation that's no longer serving you. There's a sense in which this Judgment card is also making me feel like part of what's going on underneath for you is that you have a sense that you are stuck, that you're trapped in some way, that you cannot actually leave or let go of this situation. The other thing I want to say about the Six of Swords, because swords represent kind of your mind as well. So it could be that you're not actually leaving a physical thing, but you need to leave a mindset that you have been holding for a long time. And that mindset cannot go with you to your place of success, right? You can't, those two things don't fit into your luggage. So there's a need for you to let that go. And the reason why I'm feeling that even more strongly, because we've got this Judgment card underneath the surface, and it really talks about self-compassion. And oftentimes our mental thoughts can be limiting thoughts, and those thoughts can make us feel like we can't do certain things. We can't be certain things. We can't show up in certain ways. And there's a need for you to be able to let go of some of that so that you can step fully into this beautiful Six of Wands and not be blocked by not being able to let go of something. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing going on underneath what is kind of hitting underneath the surface. Now we'll look at the final advice, but before we do that, let's look quickly at shadow, okay? Torment. Look at this. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So in terms of what you may be dealing with that is actually blocking you, this is torment. Plaguing your thoughts with self-doubt only exacerbates the problem further. First, make peace with yourself, and shortly thereafter, you will regain your confidence. Okay, pile number one, that's exactly what this is. The judgment is about you having compassion for yourself so that you can have compassion for the situation and everybody else in it. You need to look at what's going on in your own head that's keeping you from being able to get to success, and not only get to success, but to be able to receive your flowers, right? Receive the recognition. If you're pushing away, if you don't feel like you're deserving of it in some way, you're going to be pushing away that beautiful energy that lifts you up, right? Not that we have to lean on others to be able to validate us at all times, but your situation is one in which you're moving to success, in which you will be seen and recognized within the public as well. Okay. And what is blocking you is a need to really walk away from some either thoughts or situations that are causing you to have thoughts that keep you from being able to fully receive the success that is waiting for you. Okay. And then it's confirmed here by this sense of torment and plaguing thoughts hurting you. All right. So let's look at your final advice. So your final advice from the tarot is the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, I'm actually going to pull. Okay, so you got the Ten of Wands and the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is about you allowing yourself to make the choice that is going to best serve you. Okay, because the Seven of Cups kind of represents that there may be a lot of choices and options available for you. So as you're moving toward this place of success, but he's kind of tormented a little bit here in terms of like deciding which option is the best option. And not all options are a great option. This one has a snake in it. Okay, so not being sure what it is. But the cups represent our emotions and our heart. And so there's a sense of you needing to really drop into your emotion and heart space to be able to make the decision, make the choice that best serves you. Okay. And then you've got this Ten of Wands, which all tens talk about a completion, and it talks about putting your burden down. Okay. Because the Ten of Wands is also like the Ten of Fire, which is also about holding on. Like you've been carrying the burden or doing the walk all by yourself. Whatever's been getting you to the success, it's like you've done more than your fair share of that. So we're coming to an end of that overburdened place. And I think that part of that is what is going to open up the possibility for this great level of success. Pile one is letting go of the thoughts that you need to carry the total burden, letting go of the thoughts that you can't make the right choice because you can. All you need to do is drop into your heart space around it, and having compassion for yourself so that you can move forward into your success. So that's what I'm seeing here. Now, your final advice here, loss. Now, this is interesting because it was reversed, but it says sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. Okay, you make a passionate invitation for love to take over. Okay, this is what we're saying here in terms of this idea of options in the Seven of Cups, that there's a need for you to drop into that heart space. If you are feeling like, because there is this sense of loss that comes with this Six of Swords and having to walk away from something. But what you need to remember, pile one, is that you are making a choice. You're making a choice that's based on your heart. And that is what is going to bring you success. So even in the space of loss, even in the space of an ending, because you've got this Ten of Wands, the ending is letting your burden down. Sometimes we hold on to things that are actually a burden and are hurting us because it feels like it would be a loss in some way. And so I invite you to really be able to let your burden down. Let the loss go so that you can step fully into this beautiful, successful energy. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for you in your situation and what might be hidden from you. There's a need for you to be able to walk away from something, and that could be something within your own mind. Have compassion and love for yourself and make your choices based on what your heart is guiding you to do. Okay? Thank you for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Okay, bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So again, we're looking at what is the situation, what might be blocking you, what might be hidden from you, and then what is the advice moving forward. And if you were drawn in by the Muse deck in this page of materials and this tiger's eye, then this is going to be your reading. So let's hop into it. So your situation, you've got the page of materials. Now, the page of materials is all about manifesting abundance into your material world. All right. So you can see here, like her brain or her head or her, her already, her light is manifesting this rose into material form. Okay. So the situation is that you are in the process of trying to create something, create either an idea that you have in mind that you're trying to bring into the physical world. It also can be who you're being in the world. So sort of reinventing yourself, if you will. But the main thing here is that there's something that this pile is doing in which you are trying to bring it into the physical world, because the materials are going to represent your home, your money, your family, those things that are in the 3D earth world in which we're existing in right now. Okay. So this desire that you have to bring something into form, okay, whatever that might be. And so what we're going to look at is what's blocking you from being able to fully manifest what it is that you're trying to manifest right now. And what are you not seeing that might be blocking you from being able to do that, okay? So in terms of what's blocking you in the tarot, you've got the moon. This is interesting because the moon often talks about emotions and things that we're not able to see that are underneath the surface, which is exactly what we're talking about here. It can also really reflect like the emotional world, your shadow side as well as your light, and being able to merge those two things. To me, it is very much about that there is something, well, what I'm getting actually right now, sorry, kind of came in fast, is that there's something that is being hidden from you that is perhaps from your past of some kind that you are not healed from. There's like an emotional healing that is stopping you from creating whatever it is that you're trying to do. So it feels like that there is something that, it could be, when I talk about something from the past, it could be that it's a limiting belief that's stopping you from moving forward, or it could be, because we're talking about the page of materials here, it could be an actual physical thing from the past, right? Or it could be that someone or something is not revealing all that you need to know to be able to move forward. I know that sounds really vague, but I hope that resonates with someone who's listening to this, because I think there's going to be a lot of different situations with this pile in terms of what you might possibly be manifesting. So let's see, like an example of what I was just saying in terms of like someone or something possibly hindering. It could be that they're from your past, right? So it could be something that you're trying to do, something that someone in your lineage has tried before and it didn't go well, right? So there's like energy around it that you're having to move through and be kind of a pioneer, or even just that maybe they didn't even try it. Like it wasn't believed possible generationally for you. Okay. And so you're trying to do it. And so it almost feels like you're kind of walking through murky water, right? Thick, murky water is what I'm getting. A sense of like, you don't have all the information that you need. You haven't had the guidance that other people have. Okay. So this is kind of what I'm seeing is sort of blocking you. There's like an emotional murkiness around the situation that is blocking you from being able to take what you're trying to make manifest, and bring it into form into your life. All right. Let's look at what may be hidden underneath the surface to see if it gives us a little more insight, because the moon itself, that card, is about things being hidden under the surface. Wow. Look at that. Strong cards. So underneath, we've got the Death card. So the Death card, and what's really deep about this particular deck, the Muse deck, is that the Death card here, you can see like the cobwebs are around her brain and her thinking, right? There's a sense that in order for something new to emerge, your thought process or way of being has to be laid to rest, right? That's what the Death card is. This is a sense of letting go, but understand that there is not death without rebirth. Okay, so there's a rebirthing that needs to happen here for you to be able to actually bring that which you're desiring into form. Okay, and I feel like for you all, this is going to be really looking at what is going on in the shadow. And when I talk about the shadow in this context, I am talking about the things in your life that are making or have been making choices for you. Okay, whether you're conscious of it or not. Sometimes we're not fully conscious of it, right? But this, under that category of shadow falls the limiting beliefs, falls, any sort of isms that we might face, right? And how it can cause us, or any environment that we might in that forces us to walk a certain way, okay? That gets us to be able to follow a certain line. Well, in that certain line, your dream is outside of that line. In order for you to get that dream, in order for you to manifest that, you got to step away from what is the quote unquote norm, away from the line. You see what I'm saying? So there's a need for you to be able to understand and identify what is stopping you. Okay. What is stopping you? Because what may be showing up, this is what they're showing me. What may be showing up is that you try to move forward. Say you're working on a business or some kind. You try to move forward in some type of way on that business, and you find that as soon as you start moving forward on it, all of a sudden you're exhausted. You got to lay down. You got to take a nap. You're unable to focus. You're unable to do the things that this is, because something in your subconscious is stopping you from being able to move forward, because it thinks that it's trying to protect you from taking a risk that no one else in your lineage has ever done before. Okay, that's just an example. It could be a lot of different situations depending on who's listening to this. But what I want to invite you to do, pile 2, is to begin to look at, try to uncover why. What is stopping you from moving forward? What is stopping you from taking the action that you know that you need to do to bring whatever it is that your idea is into form? Okay. There's a balance that you need to make within yourself where you let your light override your shadow. Okay. You let the blending of the two, understand your shadow. I'm not saying you just forget it. Don't pay attention to it. Understand that which stops you, right? Understand if you have a tendency to, want to give up before you get to the finish line. Okay. That could be a part of your shadow. And there may be reasons. Understand that, but push through it. Begin to make new and different decisions so that you can bring that which is really driving your heart into form. Okay. Let's look at a little bit more about what might be the shadow here. Perplexed. Interesting. Still unsure of what happened. Shake your head, roll your eyes, and respect that others choose to travel different journeys than you. Remember that each journey is important. So the main thing I'm getting here in terms of the shadow that you might be dealing with is that some of you may have dealt with maybe in situations where as you've gotten, what would I say, like naysayers, right? Like naysayers are people that you thought would have your back in a certain type of way that didn't. Showed up, hurt you in some type of way, or you just didn't expect for them to like shoot down your idea so quickly, or not support you as you were trying to make steps toward this dream or this project or this thing that you're trying to bring into fruition. And it's left you confused because you didn't understand why certain things happen. You could have been in a situation where you were in a project, say an artistic project with something, and it ended. And the reason that it ended for you was not clear. It didn't make sense. It's like somebody just up and said, yeah, I just don't want to do this anymore. But they didn't explain it, and they didn't really say, you thought everything was going great. And then all of a sudden the rug is pulled out from underneath you, and it's left you perplexed. All right. And that confusion is also, like a blockage in you being able to move forward, because what it does is it kind of sneaks up in the background. And as you start to make steps forward, there's this fear that's holding you back, that you're going to be in another situation because you never understood that situation, that you're going to be in another situation that you don't understand, that something could happen that it's almost like you don't trust your own head or your own decision making, because you've had a situation in the past where that was called into question, or it was just confusing. The answer was not clear, and it's never been made clear to you. So you're still like trying to resolve it. So I would invite you to, one, let it go. Okay. Put it to rest. Put it to rest. Because listen, pal, what is this, pal 2? Listen, pal 2, sometimes you're not going to understand. Sometimes people do stuff and it doesn't even make sense. They don't even know why they did it, frankly. So you're getting wrapped up in trying to understand the rationale behind some hurt, behind something. And it might have been, and believe me, I am not trying to belittle the hurt, because it may have been very painful. And it may be you may think that it would be soothing for you to understand why somebody would do what they did. Okay. But I just want to invite you to be able to put it to rest, heal from it, grieve from it. Okay. But be able to put it to rest so that it no longer, those people are long gone. The situation is long gone. I mean, those people might still be in your life in some way, but the situation is long gone. And do not allow it to poison your future, okay? Don't allow it to poison your future or keep you in a place of confusion. You're not confused, pal 2. That's not this. This is saying perplexed, but what it's saying is do not allow the perplexity to stop you from walking in your clarity, okay? That's what I'm hearing very loud and clear. You are clear, pal 2. So don't allow that to stop you from moving forward and taking the steps that you know you need to do to bring this into form. Okay? Give yourself grace, let go of the bull, and move yourself forward. Okay? That's what I'm getting. Now let's look at what is the final advice. So the final advice, and actually this is the only pile that got 2 of these abundance cards. So let's see, look at that. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. Extraordinary and divine source. Yep. Okay, so your advice is going to be the Knight of Materials. Okay, and the Knight of Materials is moving steadily, methodically towards success. Okay, steadily, methodically towards success. There's a need for you to keep moving, keep pushing. Knights always represent movement, okay? There is a blossoming that is happening for you, pal 2. But there's a need for you to keep moving forward. Do not lay down. Do not lay down, because the other beautiful feedback that you've got here is that what it is that you're trying to do is unique. It's extraordinary. It's different. It's like this beautiful peacock here, right? You are extraordinary. You are different. What you're bringing to the table may shock some people, may make people be like, that can't happen. I don't know, but I've never heard of anything like that, okay? All of the best inventions have never been heard of before. They were an incredible success, okay? This says there is a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. Okay, so do not allow yourself to be confused. Do not allow other people's confusion to confuse you. Listen to your heart. Listen to that which you know to be true in terms of what you're trying to bring into form, and move forward. slowly but surely. You are not too late. You are right on time. So take the steps that you need to take, and then look at this. You've got divine source. Help me know that all my deepest needs will be met. Let me trust that you have a plan and the right actions will come. You are my source for all. Listen, do not lean on anyone else's idea of what you need to be doing. Lean on your higher power. Lean on the source of your life. Lean on your creator, whatever that might be for you. That divine source, guardian angels, whatever, they are the ones that are helping guide you forward. They will move you on a path of clarity. When the divine speaks, there is not confusion. So go into the spaces in which there is not confusion. Go into the clarity of your mind and take those steps. And if somebody else is confused, let them go be confused by themselves. Okay, pile two, because you got work to do. So you do your work slowly but surely, and keep moving, okay? And then you will begin to see this thing take form, all right? Take form. You're on the right path. Just step away from the confusion. Let go. Let go of anybody else's perception of what it is that you need to be doing. Let go of outside validation. Get your validation from inside and from your connection with the divine, all right? That's the guidance that I see for you all. And I hope that this resonated with you. I thank you so much for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. And I hope that if you like anything that you're hearing, that you will hit that like button for me, hit that little thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe so that we can continue to grow the channel. I thank you so much. Have an abundantly joyful day, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. We're looking at what is the situation, what might be blocking you, what may be hidden from you in this situation from being able to move forward in this situation. And so if you were drawn in by this Awaken deck with the Empress card and the green Aventurine, then this is going to be your reading. Okay, so again, I already shuffled and prayed over these. So your card of the situation is the Empress card. Okay, I always love the Empress card, but this is letting me know that you're in a situation which we're going to look at, what might be blocking you from stepping fully into your abundant, creative self. What are you trying to give birth to that you are feeling blocked from, or that you're not seeing everything that's around it? The Empress is major arcana, and she is fertile. She doesn't just give birth, she gives birth to full universes, right? So her very existence is creation, right? She creates as she moves. There's a sense of also, in terms of, for some of you who have turned into this pile, this may also be about loving yourself, okay? Because the Empress is so full of abundance and love. The only way that she gets there is by her deep love of self as well, okay? You cannot be so fertile that you are really giving to other people unless your cup is also completely full, all right? So for some of you, this question of what's blocking you is what's blocking you from loving yourself so deeply that you are birthing yourself again and again as you move, okay? There's a sense, for others of you, this may be something, a project, an idea, a way of being in the world, an abundant way of being in the world that you are trying to birth, that you are trying to get into a space of fertility, of growth, of fullness. When I think about the Empress and I think of this sense of fertility, I really get that sense of like ready to burst, right? That beautiful, when you see like a fully pregnant, healthy woman who her body is actually generating the life force that is giving force to another being, another life force, right? And we get pregnant in a lot of different ways in our lives, not just with, giving birth to another human, but with giving birth to ideas, giving birth to novels, giving birth to creative projects, giving birth to, technical ideas, giving birth to ways, ideas that help cure people and heal people and serve people in some way, right? There's a lot of ways in which we give birth, male or female, right? That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about an energy, and it's the energy of fertility and the energy of birthing, okay? So let's take a look at what might be blocking you from being able to step fully into your Empress energy, okay? And you've got, look at that, the devil. Thou art loosed, beloved. So pile number 3, what's blocking you from really being able to fully embody that beautiful, divine, feminine Empress energy is fear, okay? The devil card represents fear when we think we are bound, but we are not, okay? So there's a need for you to be able to recognize that something is you're afraid of. There's something that you're afraid of. And honestly, sometimes we are afraid of our own light, We're afraid that our own light is going to be more than we can handle. But that's kind of, if you think about it logically, it's a little bit crazy, because if it's your own light, how is it going to consume you? It is you. But it's hard for us to really fully embody all of that light that we carry, that we came here with. That is our birthright, right? Because we get caught up with earthly fears. The other thing that might be blocking you with the devil card is, ultimately it talks about fear, but sometimes how fear shows up for us as human beings is it can show up as an addiction of some kind, right? And when I say addiction, it could be drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, food, relationships, whatever you name, like any, M&Ms, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is that you are overindulging in, or social media, anything that you're overindulging in that keeps you distracted from your own light. Let me say that again. Anything that you are engaging in or indulging in that keeps you distracted from your own light. How can you create? How can you be that abundant, fertile energy of the Empress if your head is face down in a bag of chips, or your head is face down in TikTok or whatever it is, and you're watching everybody else live their lives, right? Like that's what this is talking about, this devil card. There's a need for you to be able to push aside the fear. That's what's causing you to want to distract yourself. And so for some of us, the first step is going to be letting go of the distraction. And that can be scary. And sometimes we have to do it with other people. Okay, but that's the first thing I'm seeing. Now let's see what is going on underneath the surface to see if it'll give us any enlightenment. Okay, look at that. The pile number 2 got this underneath the surface as well. There's a lot of letting go that's having to happen, y'all. But you got the death card. Now remember that the death card is not, in most cases, does not represent a physical death, but it does talk about letting go. But we know that with the death, as is the cycle of nature, as is the cycle of the universe, there is always a rebirth. So by letting go of something that is no longer serving you, letting go of that which is blocking you, which is holding you constrained, right, in some way, you are making way for the rebirth of something new. And it's so beautiful that this is a really strong reading, you all, because we've gotten 3 major arcana like right in a row here. So we're really seeing here that this idea of the devil card is blocking you. Your fear is blocking you from being able to step fully into your divine feminine Empress creative power. Okay. And what you may not be aware of is that there's something that you need to let go of. There's something in your environment or within you that needs to die. Okay. That's what I mean. It needs to be put down. It needs to be put aside. It needs to be laid to rest so that you can be born unto yourself in a new way. All right. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of what is going on underneath the cover. Before we get to the advice, I want to look at another shadow aspect that you might be dealing with. Now, this says astonished. It's your choice whether to be overwhelmed and bewildered in this situation, or to experience it with wonder and as an opportunity for a different future. Yes. Okay. This is all about you being afraid of your own light, pile 3. This pile, you are opening, you may already be sensing it. You've already walked into a portal of some kind that has caused you to level up. Your light is shining brighter. People are noticing you more. People may even be complimenting you more out of the blue. Oh, well, that looks great. Or that dress looks good. Or you look at you. You look beautiful. Or whatever. They're making these comments. You're seeing yourself in a different way. Literally, the light looks different to you. Okay. Some of you are in that space. And as you begin to walk a new path, a new light, the divine is walking with you in a firmer way, right? It can kind of be a little scary because it's like, wait a minute, things were not quite like this before, right? I was in my shadow, right? So one of the things that we can do sometimes with our shadow, that thing that keeps us from being able to let ourselves be free, okay, to allow ourselves to be fully free, is we allow ourselves to be overwhelmed. Well, this is overwhelmed. There's a new project that's coming in. New opportunities are showing up. There's new ways for you, new people for you to meet, new opportunities. All of that is there for you. And one of the ways in which we can sabotage ourselves or keep ourselves from moving forward is to become overwhelmed. Oh, this is just too much. It's overwhelming. I got to step away. It's just too much, right? We're afraid of our own light. So I invite you, pile number 3, to really take a moment when you start to feel like I'm overwhelmed or I'm confused, I'm bewildered in the situation, to take a breath and stay present in your own divinity. Get used to the goodness. Expand your capacity for joy. Expand your capacity for light. Expand your capacity for abundance. And I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do, pile number 3, but this is what this is calling for. Okay? There's a need for you to be able to expand what is possible for you as you continue to move forward. All right? So watch out for that sense of I'm overwhelmed, or, oh, this is just too much. Watch what you're saying to yourself and in your environment. Watch when you feel the need to pull away from something that's good. Just watch, just pay attention and breathe and allow yourself to stay present. Allow yourself to stay present. Now let's look at the advice. If I can get it to come up. I feel like it's going to be 2 cards, but let's see. Yeah, because we got the 3 of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting, the last group got the Knight of Pentacles too. The 3, okay, so what this is really saying is your advice is to lean into your community, lean into your friends and family. For those who are lighting you up, who are seeing you blossom and grow and shine, go and celebrate with them and then keep moving. You are on the right path, okay? You are on the right path to creating the life of abundance that you want for yourself. You are on the right path to birthing yourself at a level in which you are able to create and feed not only yourself, but those around you. Okay, you're on the right path, and nights are always about moving forward. Now, he is a slow moving knight, so it's like take it one step at a time, trust in yourself. I also feel like this is saying for you, pile number 3, because we're talking about you kind of having sort of a glow up, if you will, or really shining, and this need for you to pause when you feel the need to retreat. Just take it slow. Just keep moving. Rather than fully retreat, just slow your roll, but keep moving. Okay? Just move a little bit slower, but keep moving. Do not stop moving because you're on the right path. And even if it feels a little scary in the moment, if you just give yourself a moment to breathe and pause and then proceed, you're going to be able to expand your capacity for what's possible for you. And that, pile 3, is necessary for you to get to and stay in this beautiful Empress, divine feminine, overflowing, abundant energy. Okay? And the final advice here is karma. Yeah, you're getting here. There is nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. This card is telling me from the divine that, listen, you're about to, whether you feel like you're glowing up now or not, this is happening no matter what you do, because this is a result of past things that have happened for you. You are in a process of unfolding, of bursting into a new portal where you are literally going to shine different in your daily life. You are going to be able to give birth to things that you were not able to do before, because the time is now. You're stepping into your own divine light, your own birthright. So nothing and no one can take that away from you, pile 3. So the only guidance here is just for you on this journey. It will come more swiftly and it will come easier for you if you can let go of the fear and let go of the things that you run to when you're afraid. Let them go so that you can be reborn unto yourself. All right. This is a beautiful reading. It's a very strong reading. And just keep moving, y'all. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Expand your capacity for joy. Expand your capacity for abundance and keep moving. You got this. And the divine's got you. So it's all good. All right. So that's what I'm seeing for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you like anything that you're seeing here, please hit that like button and subscribe. It'll help me to grow the channel. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. Welcome to the Abundant Joy Tarot. I think I keep forgetting to say this is our day, but this is our day. And you were drawn into the Gullah Geechee deck, and your card was the Judgment card, and your stone was the Bloodstone, okay? So what we're doing here is we're just going to be looking at a situation that may be happening in your life right now, and we're going to look at what might be blocking this situation, what might be hidden information that you need to know, and then what is your advice moving forward to handle the situation. Now, you were drawn in by the Judgment card, okay? And there's a couple of things that are coming up for me around this. For some of you all, this has to do with a family situation where there's a lot of judgment going on. That's what I am picking up from this card. But I also want to say that for some of you, this is about judging yourself so harshly that you are not able to let your unique shine come through, okay? There's something that's keeping you from being able to fully embody all of who you are authentically. Having full compassion and love for yourself, integrating every part of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and allowing yourself to stand firmly in your own power, all right? That's what this Judgment card is about, compassion. Oftentimes when we think about judgment, we think about judging, right? Like judging other people, and judgment has a kind of harsh connotation. Oh, there's going to be a judgment. It's not necessarily good. We also think about it in terms of law, which some of you may be dealing with the situation around judgment, because I'm reading this intuitively. So there's multiple situations that may be going on. Okay. So, but when I think about judgment in this particular situation, it's about you really being able to be your full self, and not just in the company of community, but in the company of yourself, right? In the company of your alone time, and not being able to really allow yourself to fully be you when you're alone. Some of you don't, what I'm hearing is some of you don't even know fully who you are authentically, because you have had to compartmentalize yourself into so many different pieces, parts, and people, and different situations, and different relationships, and different jobs, and different, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a call for you and a yearning of your spirit and your heart to be able to fully see and be seen as you are, truly, authentically, at the soul level, right? But what you need to do first is you need to allow yourself to see yourself there, and you need to have full compassion, forgiveness, holdingness of exactly who you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? So that's what I'm seeing here, and I want to see what's blocking you from being able to get to that state of full authenticity, and full embodiment of all of who you are in all spaces, right? And for some of you, this may be, like I said before, may be specifically in a certain community that you're in, and or a certain family structure of some kind that you're in, all right? Where you're having your own self-judgment, and there is also judgment within that space, okay? So let's look at what's blocking you from being able to be fully your authentic self, okay? And what we've got blocking you, the Empress. Interesting. So the Empress represents the ultimate and divine femininity, all right? In this situation, if we're dealing with a family situation, this could be an actual person, okay? This could be an actual divine feminine or feminine energy that is stopping you from being able to fully see yourself as yourself, okay? For some of you, I feel that's what this is there's an actual individual. It could be a mother, it could be a grandmother, it could be a godmother, it could be, an auntie, right? It could be within a family unit. It could, if we're talking about like a job of some kind or a way in which you're having to show up, then it could be, a feminine, either a feminine boss or a feminine colleague that is doing things that keeps you from being able to be all of who you need to be in the situation. Generally, the Empress, I love the Empress card. It's generally a very beautiful and favorable card. But when we talk about something that's blocking you from being able to be your authentic self, there is that energy, right? And so for some of you all who are watching this pile, this is going to be a specific person. And if you're watching the pile, you're going to know what feminine energy is blocking you from being able to step fully in your power. Now, for some of you, this is your own internal divine feminine, okay? That is somehow over, like, okay, so sometimes with the Empress, all of the cards of the tarot have both shadow and light, okay? So when the Empress is in shadow, then we're dealing with feelings of being overwhelmed, shutting down, not taking care of yourself, disharmony, okay? Being overly dependent on other people, all right? That is what this shadow aspect. So if something's blocking you, that's something that's actually physically blocking you. It's this feeling of being overwhelmed, this feeling of negligence, right? Because the Empress upright is not neglecting anything or anybody, okay? Fully in her power, fully in her creative fertility, right? So if she is in her shadow, she's neglecting. So it leads me to believe that those of you who are not dealing with a physical female energy that is blocking you from moving forward, we're talking about you neglecting yourself, your self-care, you may be overworking, you may be not doing some of the basic things that we need to do, not getting enough sleep, not, eating in the way that you need to eat. There's a way in which you're sabotaging yourself by not giving yourself the self-care. Sometimes self-care is removing yourself from a situation that doesn't serve you. And so neglecting you in that situation is not removing yourself from situations that no longer serve you, right? Because the way that we need to take care of ourselves is to remove ourselves from those situations. So what I'm seeing here is that this is what is blocking you from standing in your authentic power. For some of you, like I said, it's an individual. For others, it is your own way of not taking care of yourself on all the multiple levels that we need to take care of ourselves. Now let's look at what might be hidden from you in this situation. And you've got the Fool. Interesting. We've been getting really strong readings, like a lot of major arcana in all of these readings. So the Fool is all about taking that adventurous step, taking the risk, trusting that the universe will catch you, okay? So I feel like with it being something that's hidden from you, something that you're not aware of, is that there is an opportunity for you to be able to take a risk in something, that there is a part of you that's not allowing yourself to really take a risk, to do something that may feel, or that others might say is foolish, right? But it's you just taking a leap into the adventure, you being a bit of a risk taker, okay? Being optimistic, not necessarily being reckless, but being optimistic and taking that leap of faith in yourself, okay? Because we're talking about judgment. We're talking about you being fully, authentically yourself. And in order to get to that place, powerful, we have to trust in ourselves at a certain kind of level. At some point, we have to say, I am betting on myself. I'm taking the risk on myself and trusting and knowing that the divine and that the universe will catch me. All right. So that's something that you might not be seeing, is that there's an opportunity for you to bet on yourself, for you to take a risk, do something that maybe you haven't thought of doing before, to be able to get you to be able to step fully into yourself. Now, what I just got full force was this idea that you need to speak. There's something that's blocking you from speaking up in the situation that's going to help to break you not being authentically yourself. Many of you are not speaking on the situation. Maybe you feel like you can't. Maybe you're afraid of what might be the backlash of your speaking up in the situation. But that is going to be a key for you in pile number 4. Okay, that is going to be a key for you. Now, this is also talking about another aspect of the shadow. Confused. I literally almost every pile. There's a lot of confusion out there, y'all. So this says the chaos accompanying the confusion seems misguided. However, the others are too embroiled in the situation to see clearly. You will need to make it simpler. Whatever is going on in your environment, everybody else is not seeing it as clearly as you're seeing it. So to that point, it may be that there is a risk that you can take that other people will look at it as truly being foolish because they don't see all that you see. There's a need for you to tap into your own intuition and your own guidance and let that be your guide, because there seems like there's a lot of confusion around whatever this dynamic is or situation that you're in, but it's causing you to not really show up as your full self. I'm really getting the sense that several of you, this is a situation in which you have only brought certain aspects of yourself, like a job situation, or, with certain family members, you only talk about certain things or only do certain things. And in whatever the situation is that you're dealing with, you can see that you're taking a risk and bringing another part of who you are, a more full, whole you into the situation and speaking on the situation. Feels scary, but you can see from the situation around you that it can move the needle in the situation. And you're being asked, Paul, to take that risk. Okay. so that you, and the outcome of that risk is really going to help you to be more fully yourself in other situations moving forward. But I'm really getting that this is a specific situation, either at a job, within a family unit, even it could even be in a friend group or in a community organization of some kind that you're working with. All right. You've got the insight here. You know, on one turn that I just got is the Empress is just as I said before, because we're talking about the blocking, right? So it's an individual, can also be in reverse, like not self-neglect, not taking care of yourself. But the other piece that I'm getting to this is that you, in fact, are also the Empress. Like you can birth something new out of this situation upright, you know, but there's a need for you to kind of step into your own power to be able to have that be moving you forward. All right. So let's see what the advice is. The Queen of Pentacles, which is kind of like what I was saying, like your advice is to, so the Queen of Pentacles is similar to the Empress in that she is abundant. Okay. She is luxurious, but she's also a healer, which is also like the Empress. She's highly successful, but she's known for her, the Pentacles, remember, represents the material world. So home, funds, family, you know, so it could also represent career because we're talking about the material world, money, right? And she is overly abundant because she has worked hard to get there, right? She's a businesswoman. She gets stuff done, right? And so the advice for you is to step into your Queen of Pentacles energy, to step into that sense of like, and the other thing about the Queen of Pentacles is she's very stable, just like that earth energy, right? She's very stable in her approach, but she is overly abundant. And she has gotten there by doing the work day by day, maybe not quickly, but surely. All right. And so there's a need. You are stable. If you have any confusion, pile number 4, about whether or not, like, if people are making you think that you're the fool in the situation, you are not the fool in this situation. Okay. You are not the fool. You are not unstable. Your insight is very crystal clear and you need to lean on it. You need to lean on it to step fully into who you are. And those who do not perceive, those who cannot accept you for wholly who you are, well, they're just going to fade away. But the truth is, some of them may, what they're showing me is that some of them may, and the onset, kind of be like, oh, well, that's foolish, or she's or making whatever, or he's whatever. But as you continue to stand in your authentic power, it will become clear who the actual Empress is in the situation, which is going to be you. Who is the actual Queen of Pentacles, the one who is successful and abundant and steadily moving forward toward your dreams or a positive outcome in this situation. Okay, so you're being invited, Pile 4, to ground yourself in the truth of who you are. Speak on it and continue to move yourself forward towards success. The other, yes, okay, this is what it was saying, like, lean onto your instincts, signs, pay attention to signs. Instincts are the message from the inner divine. Do not discount what you know to be true in this situation, Pile 4, because that's what I was really getting, is that, like, you're not the fool in this situation. There's some confusion that's going on here, but it's not your confusion. You are not confused. You need to lean on your insight and use that to move yourself forward. Okay? You're not the one that is causing confusion here. All right. So lean onto your understanding, lean into your higher power in the divine, lean into that Queen of Pentacles energy that's going to be stable, that's steadily working towards success. And you will see the positive outcome in this situation. You will be able to get out of being blocked, out of being authentically who you are. Okay. And step more fully into who you are. And that is what this reading is speaking to. So thank you so much for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is our day. It's been my pleasure to do this reading for you. If it resonated for you, please click that thumbs up, like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you around. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Okay? Have a joyfully abundant day. Bye.